So in the morning we discussed about the life of Prithu Maharaj. Okay. So Prithu Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj's son was named as Vijitashva. And when we discussed in the morning that Prithu Maharaj was performing 100 Ashwamedha Yajnas, and Indra used to come and steal the horse. So Vijitashva was the one who used to go and fight against the Indra. Right? And but he did not kill Indra. Out of great respect, he did not kill Indra. But he used to definitely trouble Indra a lot. So this happened multiple times. And his name, Indra, later on when the yajna was over and they became good friends. So Indra named Vijitashva as Antardhana. Antardhana. And Antardhan was the name given by Indra himself. So then Antardhan had two wives called as Shikhandini and Nabhaswati. And Antardhan was ruling the whole world. But Antardhan had a nature. What nature? Although he was a king, but he did not like forcefully collecting taxes from the people. There are kings who are not like they just extract things from people, doesn't give. He believed in giving, and if the people are not in a state of to pay, he was fine with that. So he did not forcefully collect taxes from the people. And he was performing various sacrifices during his kingdom. And he was a pure annular devotee of the Lord. When he retired from, he took an early retirement because he was not in that state of mind to extract taxes from the people or punish the citizens. So he took early retirement from the services. And he very intelligently, Vijitashva, Antardhana, he very intelligently performed devotional service unto Lord Shri Krishna. And he was such a great devotee of the Lord that he very easily attained perfection. And he could easily attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord's abode, the Vaikuntha Loka. Now, he had two wives, Nabhaswati and Shikhandini. So from Nabhaswati, he got a son named Havirdhana. So, Havirdhana, he had six sons, and one of them was Bharishat. And he is also called as Prachin Bharhi. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this incident of Bharishat or Prachin Bharhi is also one of the famous incidences. And so Prachin Bharhi he married a very beautiful daughter of the ocean called as Shatadhruti. And Prachin Bharhi begot 10 children from her womb, and all the 10 children were very great devotees of the Lord, and they were known as Prachetas. So now, when Nabhaswati instructed Pracheta, then when Prachin Bharhi instructed Prachetas that go and increase the progeny of the world. So they went and started performing devotional service. So all the 10 of them, they went to perform devotional service near the ocean, and there they got darshan of Lord Shiva. And all these 10 of them, although they were 10, but they were in their mind they were one. Just like the Pandavas, there are 5 souls, but they were one in the mindset. Similarly, the Prachetas, although they were 10 in number, but they had one mindset. They were like-minded. I'll prefer saying like-minded. So like-minded brothers, and who never used to quarrel with each other for any reason. So Prachetas met Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was very pleased with them because of their like-mindedness, because how they, 10 brothers, how they used to behave with each other. If we as devotees, if we can also behave very nicely with others, that will definitely please the Supreme Lord. Especially as devotees, we should respect other devotees and understand their temperament, and accordingly we should deal with them. So that gives a lot of pleasure to the Supreme Lord. So Lord Shiva, who is the greatest of the Vaishnavas, he told them that you are devoted to Lord Hari, and the devotees of Lord Hari are very, very dear to me. And I am going to give you a secret mantra which was told to me by Lord Brahma. And all my god brothers like Marichi and others, they all know this mantra. And with the help of this mantra, you will attain perfection in life. And also you will get strength to increase progeny. So, Prachitas received that mantra from Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva disappeared. And this Prachitas for 10,000 years, they performed tapasya. And after their tapasya, now while they were performing tapasya, their father Prachin Bhari was not as elevated as his sons. Prachin Bhari was attracted to materialistic activities, and he preferred getting involved in karma kanda activities. His sons were performing devotional service by the mercy of Lord Shiva, but Prachin Bhari himself was not so attracted to devotional service. So who comes in the picture? Narad Muni. Actually, this Bhagavad Puran is called the Narad Muni Puran. Now, wherever we go, you will find Narad Muni. Are Baba, even in the life of Kaliya, there is Narad Muni. I'll tell, when the time comes, I'll tell you. Even in the life of Kaliya, there is Narad Muni's involvement is there. So, everywhere we go, Narad Muni's involvement is there. Out of 100, 95% places in this Puran, Narad Muni, you will find Narad Muni in every episode. So this is actually, Bhagavad Puran is also called, I started calling it as Bhagavad Naran Puran. So, Narad Muni decided to meet Prachin Bhari and give him instructions. Now, Prachin Bhari he had a habit. He used to go on hunting and kill different kinds of animals. And seeing that half-dead animals, he used to get pleasure. So there are people in the world like that. Huh? So some of them, they like killing full dead animals. They like to eat them. Or some of them, they like half killing them and then enjoying the suffering. So Narad Muni comes there. And Narad Muni, seeing Narad Muni, naturally he offered respect to Narad Muni. Narad Muni told that, you're killing this, you're half killing these animals, and all these animals are actually waiting for you. And so he showed to Prachin Bhari in the sky all those animals which he has killed. And then Narad Muni started telling him, look, he was killed, you killed him that time, you killed him that time, you killed him that time. So all your journey of killing the animals, Narad Muni put it in the sky, and all of them were waiting. And they all were saying, Prachin Bhari, come up, we want to eat you. So Narad Muni has a style of preaching. Narad Muni likes live preaching. When Chitraketu Maharaj's son was dead, the best way Narad Muni thought was to bring the son back to life and let the son preach to Chitraketu Maharaj. So his style of preaching is very unique. So what happened was that he started to tell him a story of Puranjana. Now this is an imaginary story in one sense. So Narad Muni, he's telling to Prachin Bhari, look, there was someone called as Puranjana like you. And he was traveling and looking to settle down with someone. Like all of us. And so he happened to reach the Himalayan mountains, and there he found a very beautiful city. And in the city, while he was roaming, he saw a very beautiful girl. And with that girl, there were so many of her associates and 11 bodyguards, and there were a lot of protection for her. So this Puranjan was very attracted to her, and he proposed her, and she agreed, and they got married. And then they were enjoying their life. Whatever she used to say, whatever Puranjani used to say, Puranjani used to follow. Puranjani used to be sad, he used to be sad. If Puranjani used to be happy, he used to be happy. If Puranjani used to be morose, he used to be morose. If Puranjani sang, he sang. Puranjani laughed, he laughed. Puranjani cried, he cried. So he was a very faithful husband. loyal. And once what happened, Puranjan went for hunting, and same, he used to also like killing half. He used to kill animals, and he was pretty late in coming home, and that made, and this Puranjani, his wife, was in separation from Puranjan, and out of separation she became morose, she became sad, and she finally became angry, and she became so angry that she went and gave up all her opulent dress and everything, and she wore a dress of a mendicant and went to a place and she started crying there. So when Puranjana comes, takes his bath and looks for his divine wife, he could not find it. And he inquires from the maid servants and finally finds, oh, she's crying there. So Puranjan goes there and consoles Puranjani. He falls flat at her feet and asks forgiveness from her. I will never do that again, this and that. And finally Puranjani is again, she came back to normal, and again they started to spend their life. So as the days passed, Puranjan and Puranjani, they were spending very good time in the material world, enjoying all the opulences of the material world. And then one fine day, Chandaveg attacked the kingdom of Puranjan, and that fight went for so many years. That fight went for, and Puranjan was becoming weak and weak and weak. And then another king attacked Puranjana's kingdom, and then he killed Puranjana. And because Puranjana, he had so many sons and grandsons from Puranjani, and he was so attached to them. So when he got killed, Puranjan's attachment was towards Puranjani. So in the next birth, he became a girl. And then as a girl, he got married. As a girl, she got married to a king from Malay Dhwaja kingdom. And when she got married to him, they had from Vidarbha Desh. So she was very happily serving him as a devoted wife. And they also had children and everything. And they also, in that life also, she spent a lot of time serving the husband, and and they very happily were spending the life. So the time came when the husband decided to retire to forest life. So she went to forest. So he and she both retired from the kingly opulent lifestyle, and they decided to go to the forest. And there the husband left the body. And Puranjani, the Puranjan who became the girl, and now she was also, when she saw that her husband died, so she put the husband on a funeral pyre, and then she was about to jump. At that time, a Brahmana comes there. Now this Puranjan, when previous life, I forgot to tell you that in the previous life when Puranjan was there, Puranjana also had a friend. And here, that same friend again, but Puranjana was so engrossed in the activities of sense gratification that he forgot completely that friend. And now, in the second birth, that friend again appears, and then he gives her instructions. He came as a Brahmin and started giving her instructions about the cycle of birth and death. He explained her that you were Puranjan in the past life. And then he explained the whole cycle of repetition of birth and death, and instructed in the science of devotional service. So, when he heard this, Prachinvari, when he heard this from Narad Muni, he became very inquisitive. Please, can you tell the details? And then he started explaining that, Narad Muni started explaining that Puranjan means the Jivatma. Puranjani means the intelligence. And so many different, so Puranjan and Puranjani, they both enjoy the nine-gated city. So this nine-gated city is the body. We are enjoying that. So two gates are here. Eyes, nose, ears, nostrils, and then the two places where we pass our nature's call. Like that, this is a nine-gated city, and we enjoy in this body. with our intelligence. And then there is also a super soul residing in our heart. There is soul and the super soul. So Puranjan is the soul, but the unknown person, the friend of Puranjan, which Puranjan forgets, is that super soul which we forget in our life. So in this body of the city of 9 gates, there are 2 personalities living, not just one. One is us and another is super soul. So both of them are living. But we become so engrossed in our activities of sense gratification that we completely become ignorant about the other friend of ours. And then finally, then what happens? We become attracted to the opposite gender, and we get that form in the next birth. And there also the same situation is there. Nothing changes. And this super soul, he comes in the form of a devotee and tries to instruct us that please come out of this cycle of transmigration. Try to realize the self by practicing Krishna consciousness. So that is the pastimes of, that is how Puranjana's episode was explained by Narad Muni to Prachin Bari. And so Prachin Bari could realize, and then he requested Narad Muni that please help him deliver me from the cycle of birth and death. Please instruct me. And then Narad Muni instructed him in the science of devotional service, and he was delivered. So now what happened to Prachetas? Prachetas, when they for 10,000 years when they were performing devotional service, the perfection of their devotional was when Supreme Personality of Godhead, He Himself appeared in front of them. And the Supreme Lord was so pleased with the Prachetas that He said that this is your last birth, and all of you will get delivered from the front. You will attain me without any doubt. But for now, you accept the daughter of one second. You accept the there was a Apsara who begot. There was a rishi who begot a daughter from that Apsara, and the daughter was being taken care in the forest. And one fine day she was crying, and the moon god personally came and fed nectar to her, and that's how she was surviving. So all the trees took good care of that daughter. So she was known as a forest girl. She was brought up in the forest by the people staying in the forest. So when the Prachetas pleased the Supreme Lord, they glorified the Supreme Lord, and when they came to the external consciousness, they came to the external world, they saw that all the trees have grown up to such an extent that they have actually captured the whole planet. So they became so upset that they started burning the trees. They started burning all the trees from all across the globe. And then Brahmaji came, and Brahmaji stopped them, saying that please stop this, because this is not proper. Already half of the planet has been gone. Now, and he requested the people staying in the forest, please hand over that daughter to them in marriage. And that's how the solution was, that Prachetas got married to her. I forgot the name of that girl, but they got married to her, and that's how. And then Prachetas. And the Prachetas, they begot other children as well, and that's how the life continued. But at the end of their life, Narad Muni again came there, and Narad Muni came and instructed Prachetas that now your life has been enough spent in the activities of sense enjoyment. You have performed your task of encouraging the progeny. Now it is a time that you focus on your devotional life and attain perfection. So Narad Muni comes and helps the Prachetas as well. So that's how the fourth canto is, and fourth canto gets completed. Let us begin with the fifth canto now. Fifth canto is very, very interesting. So, Swayambhava Manu had two sons. Who are they? Who can tell that? Priyavrata Maharaj and Uttanapad, right? And he had three daughters. We discussed all about them in the morning. Akuti, Prasuti and Devahuti, right? So three daughters were discussed. Uttanapad was also discussed. And Uttanapad's son, Dhruv Maharaj, we discussed. And now we are discussing about Priyavrata Maharaj. Okay. So Priyavrata Maharaj, he was also under the care of Narad Muni. Priyavrata Maharaj Narad Muni told him that practice brahmacharya. Don't get into this kachada of marriage. Don't get into this married life. Stay happy. Stay brahmacharya and stay happy. It's all, in the last, you have to do this, you have to renounce everything. So you're already renounced. So why get into that mess and again come out of that? So prefer doing one thing, just remain brahmachari. So Narad Muni was preaching in this way. But Brahmaji and Swayambhava Manu was also trying to convince Priyavrata Maharaj that you get married. But Narad Muni was there, no, don't get married. Swayambhava Manu was instructing, but he was not that powerful as Narad Muni was. But then Swayambhava Manu called Brahmaji. That Brahmaji, please come. And so Brahmaji came along with all his associates and all the rishis and all. And Brahmaji came to the place where Priyavrata Maharaj was there, Narad Muni was there, Swayambhava Manu was there. And when Brahmaji came to the earthly planet from the Brahmaloka, all this great person, all these three devoted people, Priyavrata Maharaj, Narad Muni, and everybody worshipped Brahmaji. And then Brahmaji instructed Priyavrata Maharaj that Priyavrata Maharaj get married. So when Brahmaji's instruction came, then that is Narad Muni's father, right? So Priyavrata Maharaj had to accept that. So Priyavrata Maharaj finally, Priyavrata Maharaj got married. And so he married Bharismati. And he begot 10 sons from her. And from the 10 sons, the chief amongst them was Agnidra. Now, so out of the 10, 3 of them became pure unalloyed devotees of the Lord. They only practiced Krishna consciousness. They were not interested in anything else. Only they were 7 of them were actually, they will become the kings, they will become the rulers. From another wife, Brahismati had 3 sons called as Uttama, Tamasa and Raivata. And they all are going to become Manus. There are 14 Manus. Out of them, these three are the Manus. So, we should know how this creation takes place, how these Manus are appointed and how they take birth. So, all these things is there in the Bhagavatam. The whole management of the universe is in the Bhagavatam. This is the best MBA book, Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a solution to everything. So, actually in India, we have this ISKCON Bhagavat Mahavidyalaya and we are planning to go for a university, making our own university, Vedic university, wherein we are planning to make equivalent courses based on scriptures, like MBA. So, equivalent courses to MBA but from scriptures, BA, bachelor's degree courses but from scriptures, and then we gradually want to launch our own university. That's the future plans what we are putting our efforts into. So, Priyavrata Maharaj, he was very unhappy once that seeing the movements of the sun. Because sometimes what happens that in some, usually in some parts of the world where there is sun, the other part there is no sunlight, right? So Priyavrata Maharaj was not so happy with the whole organization. So he decided that he should do something, and he was a powerful devotee of the Lord. So he had that strength. So he drove his chariot behind the sun, and the rims of his chariot created. He created the daylight system. So So one place will complete day and one place will complete night. not the less sunlight or so that system was created by Prevrat Maharaj. And also his chariot created the 7 oceans when his chariot was behind the sun, and the rims of his chariot created 7 oceans, dividing the Bhumandala into 7 islands. So and those 7 islands were given by the 7th son. Got his 7 sons. He gave that 7 islands to the 7 sons. So King Agridra was ruling Jambudvip. Now Prachin Bhari's leading son was ruling the Jambudvip. He was the king of Jambudvip. And so King Agridra, he was very expert in loving dealings. How can I say? He was a very romantic person, King Agridra. So he prayed to Brahmaji that he wants a very beautiful wife. And so Brahmaji arranged that a very beautiful Apsara called as Purvachitti to come. And King Agridra they became very good friends, and they got married, they got settled down. I don't want to get into their love story, that's also there. So, you know how the love story is usually. The girl glorifies the boy glorifies the girl, they sing the songs and they get married. So we all know that. So King Agridra begot 9 sons in the womb of Purvachitti, and they were Nabhi, Kimpurusha, Harivarsha, Ilavrata, Ramyaka, Hiranyamaya, Kuru and Bharadvasha, Ketumal. And these were actually the 9 different islands of Jambudvip. So these 9 different islands of Jambudvip were in the name of Agnidra's 9 sons. So the Kimpurusha Varsha is actually one of the sons of Agridra. So like that, all of them, Bharadvasha, Varsha, Ketumal, all these 9 islands were named after the sons of Agridra. So all this we should know. So these were, Nabhi, now the first son, Nabhi, of Agnidra's first son, Nabhi, he was a very pious personality. He was a very devoted to Lord Sri Hari. So he and his wife Meru Devi, they performed severe austerities to have the Supreme Lord as their son. And so they underwent severe austerities, they performed severe devotional service, and they prayed to the Lord that, Lord, we want you as our son. So the Lord was very pleased with them. The Lord appeared in front of them and said that their initial request was that we want a son like you. What was their request? We want a son like you. They did not say that we want you. They said that we want a son like you. So the Lord, when he appeared, he said that there is nobody like me. It's me and only me. There is nobody like me. So because you have very sincerely performed devotional service for me, and because there is nobody like me, so I will only come as your son. So he came as Rishabdev. So Rishabdev, so he came as Rishabdev, and Rishabdev was the plenary portion of the Supreme Lord. And Rishabdev was a very, very powerful king. He was not enthroned as king yet, but he was very, very powerful, and he used to perform a lot of sweet services to the citizens, and he became very, very popular. Once Indra became puffed up, and he said that I will not reign in your kingdom, Bharatvarsha, I will not shower rains. So Rishabdev said, fine, no problem. Rishabdev manifested his Yogamaya potency, and he created the clouds, and there was a heavy rain, sufficient rainfall, and then Indra was ashamed, and then he realized that the Supreme Lord has come, so I had to be very, very careful. So Rishabdev was seeing the popularity of Rishabdev growing every day. So Nabhi Maharaj, he enthroned Rishabdev as the king, and he and his wife they went to Badrika Ashram. Now, Rishabdev, he practiced brahmacharya for some time. He went to Gurukul and he understood all the essential lessons which are to be learned from the Guru, from the spiritual master. And he also gave them appropriate gift to the spiritual master. So Rishabdev then entered the household life. So when Rishabdev entered the household life, he got married to Jayanti. And from Jayanti, Rishabdev had 100 sons. So, yeah. And so the first son was popularly known as Maharaj Bharat. And the 9 other sons were the Nav-Yogendras, who Nav-Yogendras were the great devotees of Srimad Bhagavatam. They propagated the Bhagavad Dharma, the Nav-Yogendras, in the 11th canto. And they propagated Bhagavad Dharma. We will be discussing their teachings in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the 81 of them were the Brahmanas, the followers of Karma Kanda, and they were following the Vedic Dharma. So like that, the 100 sons were all, their description is there. Now, Rishabdev was very, his teachings were very strong. Rishabdev had 100 sons, and he gave instructions to all the 100 sons, and he explained them the entanglement of the material world, and explained how one should practice devotional service in their life. So Maharaj Bharat naturally was the king after Rishabdev left the world. Rishabdev was the incarnation of the Lord. He took the vesh of Paramhamsa, and he entered the forest, and then he disappeared from the world. So King Bharata began to rule the world, and King Bharat was so popular. He became so popular that he took such good care of his citizens, like one takes care of one's own children. Always remember that if you are in a managerial position and there are subordinates under you, it is important that you should take care of them in the same way as you take care of your children. So King Bharat was a very extraordinary character, very extraordinary. Although his popularity increased to that extent that the whole world was named as Bharata because of Bharat Maharaj. This Bharata Varsha is because of Bharat Maharaj. Earlier it was Ajnav Varsha. But because of Bharat Maharaj's popularity, the public started calling it as Bharata Varsha. So Bharat Maharaj was very, very devoted. He was performing a lot of sacrifices, and he was taking care of citizens very nicely. So he decided to, when an appropriate time came, he quit his kingdom. Now, if you see throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see that many people, many kings, they are leaving the kingdom. So it is very important that the Grahastha ashram is not toward the end of throughout the lifetime one should be in a Grahastha ashram. At an appropriate time comes, at least the last few years of your life should be spent exclusively for devotional service. Because what happens that in the married life, the senses get contaminated because of being absorbed in the activities of sense enjoyment. They get contaminated. So they need to be purified. That the mind, with contaminated mind, cannot be fixed under the lotus feet of the Lord. You cannot remember the Lord with the contaminated senses. That's why the Lord Himself has made this provision of Brahmacharya ashram, Grahastha ashram, Vanaprastha ashram. In Vanaprastha ashram, the husband and wife both, they give up their opulent lifestyle, and they go to the forest, or they go to Vrindavan, they go to Mayapur, or they go to certain places where they perform tapasya. The dharma of Vanaprastha is tapasya. Tapasya means the senses which were contaminated because of being absorbed in the activities of sense enjoyment, now it is time for them to purify. So in the Vanaprastha ashram, they do a lot of tapasya. They eat only as much as is required, Not that pizzas and pastas and this and that and lasagna, all these things continues. In Vanaprastha ashram there is no place for lasagna, no place for pizza and no pasta. Simple life. Performing more devotional service, chanting more number of rounds, reading and remaining absorbed in Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing, reading, glorifying the Lord. So purifying the existence basically. And then there is, if the wife is physically present, if the wife gives up the body, because of the old age, then the husband goes and takes sannyas, or the husband leaves the wife with the children and then he takes sannyas. That is the provision. So King Bharat, he took Vanaprastha. There is another Vanaprastha also wherein the child is, when the wife is under the care of the children and the husband goes alone. So King Bharata took Vanaprastha and he went to forest. Now there he was performing his devotional service very nicely. But there was a big problem. Bharat Maharaj, I will tell you that problem a little later. But there was a problem. He gave up everything. He gave up his opulent life. He gave up his kingdom. He gave up his children. He gave up his all the wealth and everything. And he came to a forest and he was living very simply in a simple atmosphere. He was practicing his devotional service. And one fine day what happened, that he was on the banks of a river. He saw a deer, a pregnant deer was walking by, and then all of a sudden the lion roared, and because of the roaring of the lion, that deer which was pregnant, she delivered the baby, and that baby fell in the river, and the mother died. Because of the fear of the lion, the mother died and the baby started floating in the water. It was very natural for anyone that if you see that a baby, whether it's a human being or a deer, if it's floating in the river and if you know swimming very well, what will you do? You will jump naturally, right, and try to save that. So Bharat Maharaj did exactly the same. Bharat Maharaj immediately jumped in the river, took hold of that little baby deer, brought it on the shore. And now Bharat Maharaj started thinking that this is Krishna's arrangement. That this deer has been interested in the care of me. So I should be taking care of this deer. So this Bharat Maharaj started taking care of the deer day in and day out. Morning, afternoon, evening, started feeding him, started taking care of her. So by various ways, this king, Bharat Maharaj, who left everything, was now taking care of this deer. What happened was that Bharat Maharaj gradually became so attached to that particular deer that he started ready. The more time was absorbed with the deer and his own chanting of his Gayatri, performing sacrifices every day, Agnihotra and everything, that started getting reduced. And and if the deer used to go away to some distance, Bharat Maharaj used to miss that deer. You know, when your dear ones and near ones goes away, let's say for example your daughter or son is going away, right? And then it comes then till the evening. If it comes back from the school, college, then the father or the mother, it misses the children, right? So Bharat Maharaj's situation was the same, that it was missing this deer so much. And gradually the affection increased to that extent that 24 hours Bharat Maharaj was only thinking of this deer. That is the nature of the world. Now, the problem, I mentioned about the problem. What was the problem here? Bharat Maharaj, when someone takes Vanaprastha, the condition is that he should go and stay in the association of sadhus. In the forest, there are so many sadhus who are performing, other sadhus who are performing tapasya. So Bharat Maharaj should have gone and received association of those personalities and stayed in their association. But he was all alone. When you are all alone, there is nobody to guide. That's why we need a spiritual master to guide us. If we start accepting our mind as our guru, what is going to happen? When the mind is going to guide us the way we want. So instead of accepting a mind as guru, better to accept a sadhu as a guru, so that he can discipline us. So our Acharya has mentioned that if he was in the association of the devotees or the sadhus, definitely Bharat Maharaj could have received guidance from someone. But now, it was too late. Bharat Maharaj was on a verge of death. The time of death came for Bharat Maharaj, and he was thinking of this deer. What will happen to the deer after I go? Imagine a situation. He was the king Bharat, in whose name the whole world is called as Bharatavarsha. That Bharat Maharaj who gave up everything, but he became attached to a deer to such an extent that at the end of his life, he was thinking of a deer, and whatever you think, you will become. And then that Bharat Maharaj took again the birth as a deer in the next birth. Now this deer Bharat. Okay, there are three Bharats: Bharat Maharaj, the deer Bharat, and the Jad Bharat. Okay, so now we are discussing about the deer Bharat. So the deer Bharat, there is no such name as deer. I am giving the name as deer Bharat to receive a clarity. So the deer Bharat took birth where? In Nepal, near Gandaki river. And the amazing part, if we are sincerely practicing devotional service, it is not going to get waste. Why? Because in the body of the deer Bharat, that deer Bharat remembered everything about his past life, that he was a king Bharat. Who arranged this? Krishna. Because from Krishna comes intelligence, comes remembrance, comes forgetfulness. Mattaha smriti jnanapaham cha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, from me comes remembrance, from me comes forgetfulness. If we are not able to remember our past life, that means it is Krishna's arrangement. But if we are able to remember, dear Bharat was able to remember his past life as King Bharat. And that's why this dear Bharat was thinking now what to do. He got trapped. And then he was praying in that body of a deer. He was praying to the Lord. And in a very prayerful mood, that deer left the body in the Gandaki river. He quit his body. Praying in the separation from the Lord. Because he remembered that his path of devotional service was disturbed. So here in the body of a deer, he was able to remember Krishna. He was able to remember everything. And then in separation from the Lord, he gave up his body. And now, this dear Bharat again took the form of Bharat. But this time his name was Jad Bharat. Why he was Jad? Because he was actually dead to the material world. That's why he is called as Jad Bharat. Jad means like a stone. So when he was born in a Brahmanical family, and he was born in a very Brahmanical family. He had father who wanted to taught him Gayatri, so he was teaching him Gayatri mantra, and Om Bhurvaha Swaha, this and that. But he never accepted. He always pretended to remain as a dumb and deaf person. Because he was absolute of conviction that in this birth, no risk. He is going to shut up himself. He's just going to think of Krishna and not even speak to anybody else in this world. He was so strict with himself because of the lesson. And in the body of Jad Bharat, he remembered the dear Bharat's life, and the Maharaj King Bharat's life. Everything was known to him. So this is also Krishna's arrangement. Now there were so many incidences in the life of Jada Bharat that we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any questions? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, we can, but class is over now. Only questions. Yes. Yeah. The question is, how can we not get attached to other people? So, it is very natural that we become attached to other people. Okay. But how that attachment is utilized, that is important. So, Kunti Maharani was praying to Lord Krishna that please help me detach from these Pandavas. I don't want to, right from their birth, I am so absorbed in taking care of them that enough is enough now. I want to spend a life of full devotional service. So our Acharya has mentioned there that attachment to the devotee is a good attachment. It is good to become attached to the devotees. So if a girl gets a boy who is devoted to Krishna, then that is a good attachment, because that will help her remember Krishna. Similarly, if a boy gets a girl who is Krishna conscious, that is good attachment, because the girl will help, the boy will help that girl and boy will help each other becoming Krishna conscious. So attachment is good, provided it is in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.